Well, hello, my pretties. This is See You Next Time. Today's jaunt is a winsome frolic through the jungle of judgment as we ask, am I a festering jar of liquidized sewage? Your carefully curated collection of controversial cretins consists of a crappy dad demanding expensive gifts from his ex, a bereaved brother being told how to grieve, and parents' pretty poor behaviour getting exposed to the whole family, and much, much more. Well, some more. But first, let's kick off with an absolute Jeremy Clarkson of a stepdad. Enjoy. This one's from Agreeable Guard. Am I a rectal orifice because I don't want to spoil my stepkids? I have a 14-year-old daughter from a previous relationship, and my wife has 2 sons, 16 and 13. I had a vasectomy after my daughter to make sure I won't have other kids. I spoil my daughter however I can. This includes brand name clothes, expensive schools, and the best electronics. And before anyone decides that my daughter is a brat, I should say that she's an extremely well-behaved kid. The problem is my wife and her ex can't afford the same for their sons, and they are angry that our kids have completely different living situations while living at the same house. My wife thinks I should be spoiling her sons too, but I can't afford it, so I told her that's not my problem, and that they have 2 parents of their own who should be spoiling them. So I'm struggling as to whether this post is real, just because it's unusual for someone to advertise this level of dickheadery, but we'll press on as if it is. So to summarise the OP, I married a woman with children, but I want nothing to do with those children, and I want to be a massive prick to them. Yeah, obviously your biological daughter has all that stuff now, but perhaps from now on you could, I don't know, be a parent to your children and not be just such a prick. And here's an edit. I have been thinking about your comments and I think you're right. I can't treat kids that live under the same roof differently. So I asked my wife to move out of my home for now. We will try counselling and we'll see how that goes, but if I have to choose between her and my daughter, it's always going to be my daughter. My wife is not happy as she has a low-paying job and moving out means downgrading their lives. So am I a rectal orifice? Oh wow, that's a hell of an edit, isn't it? OP would rather kick his wife and stepkids out than just not be a dick. I'm kinda lost for words, 90% dickhead. Fuck me, spectacular. This one's from Disastrous Stuff. Am I a massive fuckwit for telling my extended family about how my family treats me? So, I'm a 25-year-old male and I'm the oldest of 3 siblings. My sister's 20 and my 18-year-old brother is my parents' favourite. My parents pretty much let me fend for myself. They told me that I won't make it far in life and that I should just become my siblings' caretaker. They also told my siblings how much they loved them and that they should just ignore me as they would kick me out at 18. My siblings were awful towards me until they got to their teens, and after that they treated me with respect and love. We are all close now. They have stood up to me against my parents multiple times and have had my back. I recently graduated from law school and have started working for a law firm. I think I have done good for myself, as I have a lovely partner and have a wonderful extended family. Yesterday, I hosted a family get-together and didn't invite my parents. I haven't talked to them since I turned 18. And my extended family asked where they were, as they have talked about how proud they are of me. I told them that I didn't invite them. When they asked why, I told them about their treatment of me throughout my whole life. My grandparents on both sides, uncles, aunts and cousins, said nothing. When the party was over, I got a text from my siblings saying everyone went over to my parents' house and cussed them out. I heard from my brother, who still lives at home, that both of my parents were crying and made up excuses, but they didn't get away with it as my brother confirmed everything I said. My parents basically got disinherited from the family, and I was told by my grandparents that my parents were humiliated. They also apologised for having their eyes closed for so long. I know I should feel happy that my parents got the karma they deserved, but I'm feeling guilty and think that I should have just told them that they were sick and couldn't attend. Am I a massive fuckwit? I feel like there's something major missing from this story, but I also feel it wouldn't detract from the truth of it. Regardless, there's a great quote by Lamott which is particularly relevant here. You own everything that happened to you. Tell your story. If people wanted you to write warmly about them, they should have behaved better. Essentially, if you're going to be a prick, don't get pissy when you get called out for it. I think my version's punchier. Your parents made your life hell and encouraged your siblings to do the same. Thankfully, your siblings grew up and it seems that damage has been repaired. Your extended family deserves to know the facts, and the guilt you feel around your parents, I'm just going to pop my armchair psychologist hat on again, is related to the trauma of 18 years of consistent undermining, gaslighting and bullying. If it all played out as written, fuck those parents. Fuck them right in the ear. This one's from Izarizo. Am I a total fuckstick for not taking a day off after my brother died? I'm a 20-year-old male and my older brother died yesterday, drug overdose. It's terrible, of course, and I do wish I could spend more time with my mum and dad to process this together. But I also have my midterm exams starting this Sunday, so I could not afford to miss my class today or tomorrow, since the professors might give hints. They seemed to be in disbelief when I left this morning, but didn't say anything. When I came back from uni, both of my parents shouted at me that I should have stayed home with them, and that I'm failing them when they need me the most. So am I a total fuckstick? First up, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know you, but my heart goes out to you. It's a terrible thing to lose somebody like that. But nah, mate, you do you. Everybody grieves differently. Just be careful that you do give yourself that time to grieve. That's important. Side note, most places would allow some compassionate leave. Take it if you need it. That's what it's there for. And I say everybody grieves differently, and remember that your parents are grieving too. It's a truly terrible thing for a parent to outlive their child. So they may behave rashly or say things that are challenging. Allow yourself to step free of any bullshit arguments and support each other as much as you can. Life does indeed go on. I don't think there's any fucksticks here. It's just a matter of processing and moving through it. This one's from Shoe Stunning. Am I a Piers Morgan for refusing to buy my ex's daughter a birthday gift? My ex cheated on me for most of our relationship. I found out during my pregnancy with our daughter that he had the other girl pregnant too. My daughter was a June baby and theirs was an October baby. They also got married that following February. To say things between us has been tense is an understatement. Ex's wife didn't know immediately that he was with me, or that we had been together since we were 15. She hated on me for overshadowing her own pregnancy with mine. She hated me even worse when she needed an emergency C-section and had so many complications that a hysterectomy had to be carried out. The tension between us all then was at its worst. Ex's wife wanted me to give up my daughter for them to raise both girls together as real sisters. And when I refused, we had all the drama. I don't even think she would have been able to love my daughter had I done that. But I think she wanted more than one badly enough that she thought my daughter would do since she was already born. Ex and I now communicate through an app mostly. We share custody of our 14-year-old daughter, and exchanges happen at school pickup time to minimise the contact between us. This has worked for many years, though I know it's not ideal for my daughter overall. My daughter and her half-sister have a very high conflict relationship. It's over me and Ex's wife. Ex's daughter has picked up her mum's attitude towards me and dislikes me and believe I keep her sister from her real family. And my daughter doesn't like Ex's wife, which annoys her half-sister. This has been communicated to me a number of times by my daughter and also by my ex, who will send random texts about it. I never respond because our mandated communication is done through the app. Ex and his wife have had some financial problems over the last 6 months. For my daughter's birthday, she got a card and a gift card, and my ex told her in advance he wouldn't be able to get her that much. I was able to get her a present as normal though. I splurged a little this year and got my daughter a gaming laptop. She was so happy. X became aware of this when my daughter spent a bit of time with her grandparents, and she asked them if she could bring the laptop to their house. X asked her about it, and she told him I bought it as her birthday gift. Now, X's daughter's birthday is a couple of weeks away, and he wants me to buy her a gift, something I've never done before. He said the money situation is still tight, and he doesn't want to get her nothing. I told him I would not be buying her a gift, and he blew up the app on my phone, saying I should be doing this so his daughter isn't left with a lackluster birthday. X said I had never done anything to help the dynamic with the girls and never cared about the pain he and his wife were in, and this was one thing I could do. Am I a Piers Morgan? Okay, what is going on here? This is plain out and out batshit. Your ex spent most of your relationship cheating on you, eventually deciding to have a child with you and the other woman. That's pretty bad. He then marries the other woman, and she decides she wants to commandeer your child because she can't have any more of her own. I know pregnancy fucks with your hormones, but what in the actual fuck? Now they're running a bit skint, and they want you to buy a birthday present for their daughter, who has nothing to do with you, who you've never bought presents for before, and who they've poisoned against you. And I can guarantee they won't want a nice meal or a new frock. They'll be pushing for a car or some bullshit just so they can get value out of you. There's a useful little mnemonic I use in situations like this. Foist. Fuck off, you stupid twats. Yeah, 0% Piers Morgan, and that couple, 80%, 90%? Fuck me. This, right here, is why it's just not worth going outside. This one's from Select Put. Am I a skanky piss stain for telling my son he needs to get a paternity test? Months ago, my son found out that he has a 10-year-old child. I was very suspicious because my son is very rich, and where was this kid until now? And why didn't her mum say anything before? And she looks nothing like my son. So I asked my son to get a paternity test just to be sure. All my kids except for one believed I'm the bad guy just because I was looking out for my son. My son, who loves kids, didn't want to do it and was happy to have a child. After weeks trying to convince him to get a test, he finally agreed, and it turned out that he is in fact her dad. I was very happy for him, and I thought all is well since there was no harm in taking the test, and he finally knows for sure that he is the father. But ever since that test, he won't talk to me, claiming that I traumatized my granddaughter by forcing her to go through that. He thinks I'm an asshole. Only one of my kids is on my side and thinks I did the right thing. So, am I a skanky piss stain? Obviously you did the right thing. Randa cunt shows up on the doorstep with an, "Oh, by the way, we fucked 10 years ago. I forgot to mention you've got a daughter. What's that? You're incredibly rich? How convenient." I seriously cannot imagine what's going through his siblings' heads to just accept it without question. I feel like this little community of See You Next Times is close enough that I can share, once again, the fact that people are just awful, and running games like this is just the sort of thing that people would do. This is why we can't go outside. It's far too peoply out there. OP gets nil point on the piss stain front, but the kids get a dirty yellow at maybe 30%. And traumatizing the girl with a DNA test, what the fuck? It's taking a strand of her hair. Far more traumatizing is deliberately denying her a father for the most formative years of her life. Jesus fuck. And so, as we pass through the alimentary canal of Reddit and pop out of its arsehole, we can bid a fond farewell to the painful pricks therein. Perhaps you'd like to gather together a bunch of reprobates, like yourself, into a forest clearing and howl at the moon. You could then start chanting,
Like, comment, subscribe.
while you whip out your phones and like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, most importantly, though the life of a wandering, nomadic, door-to-door cheese seller may seem like the perfect path to a hedonistic existence of fame, riches, and dairy, the early days can be a challenging uphill battle before you're living the cream Cheese. There'll be times you'll want to say, "E damn Swiss, Emmental to hell, I can't bear it." And you'll have to take a look in the mirror and say, "Hello, me. It moons to get cheddar than this. It's kutcha be gooder." I apologise profoundly for the offence I have definitely caused with these terrible puns. Stilton, life goes on. And for those who take umbrage with my pronunciation, really? You've just listened to that abomination, and your problem is the pronunciation? Bloody hell.
Are you serious?
Say.
You! Next!
Time.